This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're here today with Päivi Haikkola, Senior Ecosystems Lead at 1C. Päivi, to start, can you give an overview, a by the numbers look at 1C today using the metrics of your choice?
Okay, well, 1C was founded in 2016. We are an alliance of 13 companies today, 5 associations who have been aiming to advance autonomy and digitalization for around 5 years now. Our joint goal is to have a working autonomous maritime logistics chain somewhere by 2025.
As you know better than I, autonomous technologies are moving quickly into the maritime space, with technology to a large extent outpacing the regulatory framework. What is 1C's role in that regulatory technology discussion?
Well, we participate very much in the work that is done at IMO. I feel it's crucial for the adaptation of these technologies that we do get safe regulations that will cover the globe. What we do is, on one side, we try to give examples of what is being developed and what is happening in the development of these technologies towards IMO. On the other hand, we inform the industry and the players of what is happening on the regulation side. So in a way, we try to transmit as much information as possible and to bring in the views of the industry into the work that is being done.
Can you discuss some of the recent autonomous projects that 1C members have been a part of?
Well, there were a lot of demonstrations a few years back. And actually what is now happening is that these 1C members are working with actual customers in actual commercial projects. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to reveal those things before the companies decide to do that themselves. So all I can say is that keep a close lookout on the companies belonging to 1C, because I believe there will be some very interesting news quite shortly.
How do you see the discussion of autonomous and autonomy, and where does 1C fit into that discussion?
Well, this is one of the most important things, I think, and also something that we are working very much with, because the definitions we need in order to understand what we are talking about. And as you said, at the moment, we don't have general definitions. And that makes it very difficult because people might be talking about 2 completely different things and they're disagreeing because they don't realize that they are not talking about the same thing. So what we are working on is a proposal from the industry on what kind of terminology we could have in autonomy related things. And I hope to be able to, we hope to be able to come out with it within a few months, but it's also not easy when there are many organizations who have different views to come to an understanding. So that's why it takes a little bit. But of course, we have much less organizations than the entire maritime field. But I think we can come out with a, I would say, with a very real and professional suggestion, because we have the main companies who have been doing these projects for a while already. So they have a deeper understanding of what autonomy is at the moment, where we are going with it, how does it relate to automation, etc.
Unfortunately, and quite unbelievably, COVID-19 still dominates the world. You can't have a business discussion today without looking at it through the COVID-19 lens. From where you sit, can you discuss how the pandemic has materially impacted the trajectory of digitalization and autonomy in the maritime space?
Well, it goes two ways actually. So on one hand, of course, many of the companies, even bigger companies, are struggling to some degree. And that could mean that they could withdraw their R&D funding and things like that. On the other hand, what we see with our members is that I think they are investing in it at the moment. And the reason, I think, is that the COVID has highlighted the need for these digital technologies. So when we can have tools where you can gain remote access to various systems on board and work with the systems without having somebody coming on board, because we do know that maritime traffic is crucial to the logistics of the whole globe, basically. So in order to keep that running, we see ship owners and captains, they're worried about getting people on board. And when you can do this more through technology, so this is where we see the demand for these technologies increasing. Well, just an easy example, for example, is pilotage, because having a pilot on board is, of course, a risk of contamination to the ship personnel. And if we can, through these technologies, enable remote pilotage, what better way to keep the cogs, so to say, rolling of the global traffic. So yeah, so I think we see both an understanding of that we are going to need these technologies more, but also kind of a worry because of lack of funds, especially on the customer side as well.